This is Moreno Valley Updates for May 18th to May 24th. This is Steve.
This is Danny.
And this is Tyler.
So for our driver of the week, last week I forgot one anniversary. There was a bunch, and I skipped it, and then he called me. So you missed it. So our driver of the week, Ray Gutierrez, he is here in Moreno Valley, and last year he had hit 7 years.
7 years already, huh?
7 years. Yeah.
Time flies.
So he was quick on that call too. Yeah.
Hey, he wants his credit. You know, he deserves credit. 7 years.
There you go. So for our new hires, we had a few people that started this week. Chris Calderwood, he is in Albuquerque. Arthur Tillman in Buckeye. Arthur was a divisional driver who just transferred over. He had traveled around with some other accounts. And Edward Herrera here in Moreno Valley. So Edward had a surprise yesterday. We had to send him to do a relay. He's not done training yet. That's okay. He did it. He just came back a little bit ago. For our birthdays, not as many as last week. There's just two. Right. Thomas Martin on May 19th, and Thomas is in Las Vegas, and Ignacio Morales on May 20th, and he is also in Las Vegas. See, for our anniversaries, just one this week. Actually, there was like 6 of them last week.
Right.
So
18 years for Joe?
Joe Gutierrez, yeah. 18 years on May 21st.
That's cool. That's crazy.
It's a while. So what do we got going on here weather-wise? Los Angeles, it's going to be warm, sunny. It's saying basically no chance of rain. You know, in the 90s, high 80s. Looks like Saturday's going to cool off back into the 70s, but it's going to be warm. For Las Vegas, 90s, hitting the hundreds, sunny, no chance of rain all week. What did I do? Uh-oh. For Phoenix, same thing. Looks like Thursday, Friday, all the way up to 106. So it's going to be hot.
Oh.
Salt Lake City, they're a little bit more pleasant there. 70s, low 80s during the week. Looks 99% chance of rain tomorrow. You think it'll rain? It seems like on these percentages, if it's above 20, it rains.
Yeah.
See, for Albuquerque, it's getting a little warm there. It's going to be 70s, but then they're going to mid-80s and low 90s for most of the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And going to be very warm there and sunny, 0% chance of rain. Very windy tomorrow and Monday, looks like. All right, let's take a look at our injuries and accidents.
Yep.
I had to throw that.
I know we did have one injury, so reset the clock, and now we're trying to climb back up. But we did have one injury this week. It was luckily just a more minor injury, but it's mainly just a driver was breaking a set here at the yard, and the dolly had slipped out of his hand and pinched his finger between the pinto hook and the eye of the dolly.
Yeah.
So it was a minor one, but just a reminder for everybody, be extra careful when you're breaking sets. And I go over that with the new hires all the time, because those injuries with sets can be dramatic. Luckily for this one, it was a minor one, but always be careful with your hand placement on those dollies. But too much to go over with that one, because it wasn't anything too severe. But as for accidents, we're still going strong. No accidents for this week, so hopefully we can keep it going into next week.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we made it like 121 or 22 days, something like that. So that was good. Yeah. That was a good 4-month run.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got some free burritos out of it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There we go. If we go 4 months between every injury, we'll be sitting pretty.
This is true, yes. Let's see, Smart Drive, everybody's favorite.
Everybody loves Smart Drive. They live for my emails. For Smart Drive, we actually didn't have too bad of a week this week. It was pretty decent. Our score is still sitting around a 10. And for the most part, that people who don't know, our average fleet score sits around 9, 10, 11. So it's usually our area we sit in. It's not a bad area to sit in. But for this week, what I would say for Smart Drive is just a reminder for everybody. I know the heat's picking up. I know people are going to be driving crazier in the heat with the weather changing constantly. But we got to stop with the aggressive driving. That was the leading cause for the bulk of our following distance and the bulk of the near collision videos, which we had quite a few of this week. So just a reminder, even if you get frustrated, you can't push other cars out of your way, even if they cut right in front of you. You gotta take the extra time to reestablish the following distance. Especially with the near collision videos, can't be doing dramatic maneuvers to go around people. That's the biggest thing I can say for this week is got to try to mitigate the aggressive behavior when you're driving.
Yeah, when it gets hot, people get, what do you call it? Annoyed.
Yeah,
a lot quicker.
Frustrated very easily.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm guilty of that myself sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure it goes for the personal vehicles, cutting off all the trucks too. They're all irritated, cutting everybody off.
Yeah.
It's just that season.
All right, for our announcements, as Tyler just mentioned, there's that heat-related illness training in Luma. That one every year it is trying to get people to finish it. There always be some, come July, there's always like a few people who didn't do it. So, yeah, if you, if you've forgotten how to log in, you can just text me, email me, I'll get the information to you. Let's see, what else? We had a little issue where we took a trailer up to Tulare that's supposed to go to Woodland, and somebody brought the trailer back here. So, Mickey wants to try a change, which is what?
Yeah, pretty much what he's doing now. He's attaching another sheet that says Woodland Trailer on it. So once you take a loaded trailer to Tulare, when you leave the paperwork with the trailer, attach that paper so it shows Woodland Trailer. It makes it easier for drivers to, spot the trailer that's for Woodland. And just like Woodland, they tag our trailers with Moreno Valley, so it makes it easier for the drivers to see it, just grab it. Even though always double check the address where it's shipping to. Obviously, if it says Woodland DC, it'll have the address for Woodland. Don't bring it. If it says Moreno Valley, grab it, bring it, take it to receiving. So always double check your paperwork.
All right. I want to put out a reminder to the relay drivers that you got to check those trailers for rollers, and you got to make sure there's straps. I did get a few text messages and some pictures during the week where the drivers had no straps. So, of course, the empty totes are just chaos. They're all over the place.
As far as the straps, Steve, it goes back to what we were talking about it a few months ago. If you have extra straps, and I noticed because some of the trailers that I've been using for backhauls, those are some of the trailers also that they use for routes, and straps are everywhere on the trailer. Just wrap them up, put them behind the rollers. If you have extra straps, roll them up, put them behind the rollers. That way, once they're behind the rollers, this guy's at receiving, they're not going to want to touch them. If they're hanging around anywhere on the trailer, hanging or just on the floor, they're going to take them out the trailer. That's what they do. So just roll them up, put them behind the trailer, don't even touch them. That way, if you have extra ones you're not using, put them behind the rollers, and they'll come useful for somebody else.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a little, if you're out there delivering and there's no straps, you can, I mean, it's tough to deal with, but you can do it.
Yeah.
But if there's no rollers, you're sitting there waiting because there's just no way to unload that trailer without the rollers.
If there's no rollers, wake up your relay, tell them, hey man, you got to go back to the yard and bring some rollers. I bet you he won't do it again.
No kidding. One time I did go get some rollers from the yard, put them in my car.
Right.
They just barely fit. They went all the way. They were in between the seats.
Yeah. So this is just I would say an idea that just popped up in my head right now. There's 3 relays that go to New Mexico, right? I mean, not all the way to New Mexico. They take the New Mexico runs, but they go halfway to Holbrook, I believe. So those 3 drivers on the way back, they're coming back around the time a lot of the drivers are arriving to their stores. I would say it's always good to know like have their numbers just in case. If you get to a store and you open that trailer and there's no rollers, you might be able to catch that relay coming down on the 17 before he even hits Phoenix, so that way he can swing by and drop you off some rollers with the empty trailer he has. That's just an idea. I mean,
Oh, you're saying for the Phoenix area?
Yeah, for the Phoenix area. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As far as Vegas, everything's really close. Back. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like the Vegas guys. I mean, their yard is pretty close, so they can always run and grab some. But I'm talking about when I notice that there's an issue when I'm here on Saturdays, it's in Phoenix. Yeah, they're missing rollers, and then there's nobody to, take them rollers. But if you catch those guys coming down, like, hey, you open the door at the store, hey, I'm missing rollers. Call the driver, hey man, where you at? Who goes up there? Roy Byers, Robert Hawkins, and who else?
Demarie.
Okay, so you can always hey man, how far are you from Phoenix? That way, they can swing by. It'll probably take them, extra 20, 30 minutes to get to your store, but at least, you'll get some rollers. That's just an idea, early in the morning when nobody's here.
And they're not going to run out of drive time or anything like that.
Right, correct.
That's a good idea, though. Yeah. Of course, if you're in Albuquerque, you don't have rollers. There's nothing you can do but go back to the yard and get some. Anyway, well, that's all I have for this week.
Me too.
That's it for me.